Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the final set here in the OPL. Casting today is Woofin along with Lynxclone.
Yes, it's looking to be quite an interesting set. You got the top place team versus the bottom place team on the ladder. I believe Scylla esports are already available for LAN, so this game not really too much on the line, but I'm expecting possibly some very weird strategies, especially because Kanga, they don't really have much to lose at this point, so they can start throwing around some wild strategies and try and throw Scylla off their game, going straight into picks and bans. We do see that it is a Skadi first ban.
Yeah, I mean, Skadi, despite all the nerfs she's received, is still an extremely strong hunter. And speaking of auto-attack damage, we see the Kronos band as well.
Ardio and Hell will be the next bans, this time on the side of Kanga, just taking two very strong healers as well as two goals who are built fairly tanky away. But Scylla esports, they're just going to ignore those healers and go straight for the Terra support, while Kanga pick up the Erlang Shen and Kukulkan to round out their jungle as well as their solo lane.
Yeah, Terra support is just always a strong pick, so happy to see that picked up. As always, Erlang and Kukulkan going to form a strong frontline presence for the side of Kanga, but then we see the Camisots and Huyi who are going to bring a lot of damage.
Yeah, not to mention, they already have a lot of sustain, and speaking of sustain, Freya, she does have sustain, not to mention she does have the Erlang Shen to kind of keep her alive in these fights, but Freya is very much a feast or famine kind of god. She either does extremely well in her fights, whether she's put it either in the mid lane or the duo lane, or she just feeds out of her brains, and there is not really much you can do, and you just see the Freya constantly dying, as we see the Sun Wukong and Osiris ban for the side of Kanga, as well as the Kepri and Geb ban for Scylla esports.
Yeah, so we see Scylla really focusing on those supports, whilst the solo bans are thrown out from Kanga, which obviously makes sense considering the picks, as we see Hebo and Bologna getting picked here. What do you think about this Hebo, Lynx?
Well, I said Freya is Feast or Famine. I feel like Hebo is only like one notch even more so on that sort of a scale, where Hebo, especially if he has a rough lane, it's going to be pretty tough, and we do see they pick up a Hercules support, so Freya not going to have the easiest duo lane against a Huyi Terra. So they're going for a very, very risky strategy, Kanga. They just throwing any sort of caution to the wind, going up against a Bologna and a Yanis for the final two picks of Scylla esports.
I mean, looking at this team composition, it does have reason behind it. You know what I mean? It's not just out of the blue. Even though it is quite a strange team composition coming out from Kanga, you can see the synergy with the two mages here. Though I'm just wondering about that physical damage that's going to be coming out from them. How effective is that going to be with pushing towers, etc.? I mean, Freya can push towers, but she doesn't push it nearly as strong as, say, a hunter.
At least you do have the Erlang Shen to act as almost the secondary ADC in these team fights, so they don't have complete loss. Not to mention Huyi, he doesn't have a steroid of his own to actually be able to push tower. He does obviously have Terra Monolith to heal his mini wave to make it that a little bit easier, but other than that, it isn't going to be a complete whitewash when it comes to split pushing. So Kanga, they still have an opportunity, but they need to make sure that they, one, get Erlang Shen ahead, and two, ensure that Freya and Hebo don't die. If they don't die, then it's going to be very happy days for Kanga.
Yeah, so as we get into this game here, looking more at the composition here from Scylla, do you see any standout picks here? Who do you think is going to be potentially carrying the game for Scylla?
I'm going to really want you to be looking at both Envisionize as well as Shred. That duo rotation has a lot of potential to do damage. We saw in the last set with Legacy, the very first game, we saw a Camisots and a Yanis just wreak havoc through the duo lane just because they were able to so easily rotate with the 3 space and time, turning Camisots, who's fairly mobile, into one of the most mobile gods in the game, and putting even what it would be Noose as well as Desecrated Shem, who have the Carpet as well as the Mink form to really get themselves around the map.
Yeah, so we see the starts here. We've got 2 in the middle lane, but Envisionize is short to come over here as well. This middle lane is really going to be determining of how both teams go. I mean, we've got an extremely risky pick here with the Hebo, and then a Yanis who's just so incredibly safe, and not only is the Hebo unsafe, there's also a Camisots on this team.
The only thing for Desecrate, which is going to be a little bit of relief, is that Shred has been left by himself, and Yanis level 1 clear, especially with only a sense of time, you're not exactly going to be clearing insanely quickly, and Pop and Fresh should be able to help him out. Shred just kind of standing there. He's actually just going to take a lot of burst there for just no reason whatsoever, and he actually might give up first blood.
Yeah, Shred dying there early on is going to be absolutely critical to the side of Kanga esports getting that first blood. Not only the first blood on Pop and Fresh, but just not dying there on Desecrate is going to be absolutely excellent for them, and is going to help start a snowball.
I'm not sure if Shred is doing that on purpose or was he disconnected. Like, he literally stood dead in the center of the wave and took every single ability from both Pop and Fresh as well as Desecrator. So this is turning out to be quite the strange game as KO as well as Envision are securing themselves the elementals, as they do have the solo lane advantage at least, as game is pulled by Envision and Shred, as we see, does disconnect. So a very unfortunate timing for him to disconnect.
Yeah, unfortunate timing, but what are going to be the repercussions of this first blood? It's going to allow the Hebo to have that little bit of a advantage in the start, and that's really important on this Hebo pick.
Yeah, and especially now that he's got Pop and Fresh rotating with him, they're going to be able to take away the speed buff, hopefully, and possibly even the blue buff. It seems like Noose wants to really go on the aggressive, especially because he does have that tower push already going for him, so he's not going to lose that minion wave, and try and get a really nice lead, not only for the mid lane, but also the solo lane. And even in the duo lane, it's actually looking fairly even so far. Obviously, time will tell to see how hard it's going to be for a Hercules support and a Freya ADC to deal with quite a devastating push coming out from both the Terror with her Monolith Destruction as well as the Huyi Ricochet. So it's going to be, that's going to really be the telling point to see who can come up on top in that lane, and will the Freya be the one to possibly be the one to feel the famine?
Yeah, as we see this delayed pause here, looking at the positioning of Scylla Esports here, we've got KO and Envision Eyes possibly looking to rotate in onto Noose. But no, it looks like they went back to lane, so this speed buff is just going to be right and ready secured for the side of... Sorry, for the side of...
Yep. Yeah, Kanga getting themselves the speed buff, which is nice. Blaine Anderson taking a lot of poke as Mingyu coming in and getting Driving Strike back, but that's only going to make it even easier to try and chase him down. Shell popped by Blaine Anderson.
Yeah, we see this high aggression onto Noose here, but Noose just has the turtle here, which just really allows him to keep alive, though Tory Skies, as we see, is this continuation of the damage here. Just barely making it out alive is Tory Skies, but he's going to have the Terror heals available if he does choose to stay. Otherwise, you might want to think about backing.
Yeah, Tori is in a very precarious position. He does have potions available to him as well as the aforementioned Monolith, so it's not all doom and gloom, but a nice pushback by both Disrupt by and Blaine Anderson to turn around what could have possibly been a first blood, using the Driving Strike to their advantage, as well as a nice early shell pop.
Yeah, and we see these back harpies getting taken by Envision Eyes and Shred. I do want to see how these rotations are going to turn out. We do have Pop and Fresh over in this duo lane, right and ready to start this gank attempt. But we see Mingyu actually picking up Disrupt Bay, and it looks like they're going to get away scot-free despite the rotation.
Yeah, Mingyu doing a really nice job to just go completely on the aggression. He didn't have any sort of doubt in his play. He didn't half hesitate. He specifically went fully in on the fray, understanding that if he did not kill the Disrupt Bay, that was going to be a 2-for-0 trade. So Scylla Esports returning the favor. So they've now got themselves a bit of pressure back over in this duo lane. But in the mid lane though, Shred already getting very low from a nice Hebo ultimate from Desecrator.
Yeah, but luckily Giannis's middle name is getting away from dangerous situations, but it looks like he doesn't have the portal. So curse my words, we see Pop and Fresh pick up that kill in the middle lane, which is his second kill here.
It's not even just a portal problem, it's actually the fact that he doesn't have any boost to speak of. Over in the duo lane, Tory Sky is getting driven back, as well as Mingyu into the purple buff. He's going to try and last as long as possible, but Blaine Anderson finds the kill with help of Disrupt Bay, and Tori out of mana, and out of luck as he's getting slowed down by Disrupt Bay.
Envision Eyes actually going in there with the ultimate, extremely dangerous here, actually uses the Aegis and just manages to dodge, but no, the basic attack comes out from Desecrator, picking up that kill.
Yeah, and with Shred only level 3 at 3 minutes in, that's a massive loss for them. Tory Sky's finally falling after a very prolonged chase, which I'm sure he's going to be very proud of how long he was able to keep them chasing around instead of actually going for burst or going for the wave. But really, it's going to be trying to get Shred back into this game, because now that Hebo's already started, it takes a lot to really get that boulder to stop from rolling. He's got his boots, he's currently got 1-0-1 when it comes to kills and assists, so doing very well for himself this game.
But Lynx, Hebo doesn't have a boulder. Hercules does.
Haha, and of course that boulder is going to be doing a lot of damage in the Gold Fury pit as well. So that's going to be something to look out for as we go into these team fights. It's a very unconventional pick. We haven't seen Hercules support. I don't think we've seen maybe even since like Season 2 was the last time we even saw something like a Hercules support.
Is the man you think of when you hear Hercules support. But, I mean, Blaine hasn't been doing bad on it. He's 2-0-0 with this Boomba's start on the support, meaning that he's going to be getting quite a decent amount of farm.
Yes, and Poppin' Fresh trying to steal away the the blue buff from KO as the Terra's Blessing as well as the 3 space in time used to get into the solo lane.
Huge fight in starting here, but Noose is just going to use that Totem Form to get right away, but we see the ultimate coming out from KO to stun him out.
But we see the Taunt thrown as well to get him that healing. Now we see Desecrator throwing that ultimate just to try and get away. Is he going to survive? It looks like he won't because Invisionize has that bat out of hell to get him right down. Shred also is going to get shredded once again here by Poppin' Fresh. That's the 3rd kill from Poppin' Fresh onto Shred, but now we see Noose picking up Tori's guys as well. This has been absolute domination coming out from Kanga.
KO now is going to be the next one to fall, surrounded by 3 members, barely alive. The knockup will be what? Actually, no, it's not going to finish the job. KO is still able to get away. The Boulder as well as Noose chasing on the TD tower just to really clean up the kill. They needed to be absolutely certain on that one. Finally, finishing off 3 for nothing. Shred trying to throw a little bit of poke back their way, but with such a far behind Yanis, that unstable Vortex is barely just going to tickle them at most.
Yeah, speak of the devil and the devil shall come, and the devil in this situation was that boulder coming out from Blaine Anderson. An excellent pull coming from the support of Kanga, and then just good follow-up after his team unfortunately missed the kill.
It's a very important thing to note that Poppin' Fresh has been out for most of this OPL, actually no, the entire OPL, this entire OPL split I should say, with medical injuries. So to see him come back and have such a dominant performance already, 3-0-3 on this Kukulkan jungle, it's going to be very important that he keeps up this strength because currently he is still a level behind on Invisionize. He's only got 1 kill but been farming just slightly more effectively, and with a warrior jungle you need to be ahead.
Yeah, and ahead he is, as we see Invisionize looking to be in a little bit of danger in this middle lane, though he does have a speed buff, so expecting him to get away at this point. Blaine Anderson really looking for that pluck, which is the exact mentality you want as this Hercules support. You want to pull those enemies right into your team.
Not to mention, it's quite an easy setup when you have a Hebo who also has the ability to knock you right into the air and just set up quite nicely for the ability. Mingyu using the dive bomb to ignore any damage coming from Disrupt Bay as the stuns come raining down upon Disrupt Bay.
Yeah, unfortunately missing the stun there on Disrupt Bay is Mingyu, and now we see Blaine Anderson actually rotating in it. Mingyu's looking to be in a lot of danger. We see the dash coming out from Blaine Anderson, not for the stun, but just for the mobility. Unfortunately, missing the pull is Blaine Anderson, meaning that Mingyu will get away.
He's only just now finished the Warrior Turbo, not actually building the Devoure's Gauntlets just yet, so Mingyu doesn't exactly have lifesteal to work with, while obviously Disrupt Bay being the Freya and her passive giving her that nice extra bit of lifesteal, making things a little bit easier for her in the lane to try and out-farm as well as out-clear Mingyu. Over in the mid lane though, Shred getting very low by Tori Skies, able to find the kill.
Yeah, now we see Poppin' Fresh extremely low as well. Tori Skies picking up a double kill in the support role here, doing an excellent job for his team, getting those zoning in and out, but now we see KO rotating as well, trying to see if he can pick up some sort of kill, but, you know, we see Kanga Esports just backing off for the moment, but this is going to be a secured speed buff for Scylla.
Obviously this isn't an intentional strategy, but the fact that Shred is so far behind is actually almost making for just the best sort of bait that Scylla could have hoped for. And Shred, all he has to do is just hang just slightly a little bit far forward than he needs to be, and then allow Terra to come in as soon as he falls back and let the rest of the team collapse for him, allowing for quite easy kill setups, as it seems like Kanga Esports are going quite greedy, and they have to go greedy just because of the melee-oriented lineup and try and find these kills onto Shred, which backfired and allowed Terra, who we don't normally see getting kills, allowing her to get a double kill in that team fight.
I mean, if you want to see a Guardian getting a kill, Terra is quite a good one. Just seeing her snowballing will help her team out with that healing earlier on, as we see these fire minions getting extremely contested over here.
It's so extremely contested that there was a Terra's Blessing pop as Disrupt Bay now forced to go into the sky. Tori and Mingyu just waiting beneath as the suns come raining down and finish off the job.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice pickup there for Mingyu. Looking at this Hunter-to-Hunter matchup, or rather Hunter-to-Major matchup, it's looking to be slightly in the favor of Mingyu at this point, though. Freya does have her Hasten online and doesn't even have her boots online. What do you think about the Hasten before the boots pick up on this Freya?
The Rush Hasten can work out in your favor, but you do have to be careful understanding that you don't have that same mobility that comes from boots, and obviously Freya, she only has really 2 ways to mitigate damage or try and avoid damage from enemies. She can either banish them, or she can go into her ultimate. Either way, you're wasting an ability, and if those miss, or if you're forced into the Valkyrie's discretion just a little bit too early, it's quite easy to punish the Freya, and as we see, Mingyu and Tori Skies quite easily finding the kill as soon as the Freya came down from the sky.
We see that the junglers clashing over here in the middle lane. It seems Envisionize taking a bit more poke there overall because of the minion wave, but the rest of his team's going to come up and say, no, you're not touching our jungler today. And but looking over in this solo lane as well, we just see this continual clash, KO being one level ahead. How is this going to impact the rotations though?
Not only is it one level ahead, but also one item ahead, since KO has opted for the very cost-effective Gladiator Shield. Poppin' Fresh trying to mitigate a lot of that pressure using a nice knock over the gate bowling, but not going to really do much to KO, and KO just going to come slamming down with that bludgeon.
Yeah, that might have been a huge mistake though, going all the way into that minion wave, and now we see the taunt coming out from Noose, but KO is still alive. Just being ahead at this point in the game has allowed him to become so tanky, and that Gladiator Shield, as you mentioned prior, giving him amazing sustain.
Over in the dual lane, we do see both the Valkyrie's Discretion and the Suns come down, both trying to finish off each other, but neither able to getting the final kill blow, so having to pull back just a little bit. Disrupt Base seems to possibly just gone a little bit overextended.
Luckily, he has the shell pop though there, and now that hasten ring is really going to start going to work. Terra's Blessing is popped to try and get Tory Skies away, and it is going to be a successful retreat.
Successful retreat, but with the Terra's Blessing down, that can possibly set up a possibility for Kanga to try and even go to this Gold Fury or look to force a team fight in an unconventional position. Mingyu getting himself the red buff, so just they see Kanga and they immediately just want to focus down the buff, not even looking at a fight just yet. But Shred, he's now back in favor, only one level behind at this point, so he's been able to find the farm to bring him back into this game and is looking now to actually be able to put up a fight when the actual team fights start happening once again.
Now, when I look at this Hebo, he got a pretty rocking start with 1 kill, 1 assist. But then, seeing his impact now, is this pick really going to work out in the end?
It's really going to matter what he does during these major objective fights. Is he going to get a nice knock up and as well as into the Crushing Grave and hit 3 people, or is he going to get immediately focused up before he can even do anything in these fights? Hebo is very much a shotgun mage. He has to be fairly close up to actually try and get his damage off, and Scylla, they can quite easily abuse that, especially with the ways they can heal as well as avoid the types of damage coming through. So, his position needs to be on point, and I think that's going to be the key deciding factor in these fights.
Though, despite the fact that Hebo can get quite out of position quite easily, he does have 3 strong warrior frontliners to help him out. As we see this Portal Demon started off here by Kanga and almost finished, actually. It looks like it's going to get away scot-free. Not sure the ultimate was really required there, Desecrator, but it doesn't matter. They secured that Portal Demon.
Yeah, I feel like he was already going to back anyway, so just using that final bit of mana, just using all the resources available to him just to ensure that they really get that lovely Portal Demon. Oracle Harpy secured by 3 space and timers. Scylla, they're not going to go as aggressive, but Disrupt Bay! There is aggression, and Mingyu is going to find the kill.
Yeah, not only that, we see Blaine Anderson taking a little bit of damage here as well. The pluck actually lands, but unfortunately no dash coming out from Blaine Anderson, so Envisionize is just going to walk away with that speed buff wrapped around his belt, going incredibly fast.
Yeah, a massive kill. Like, every opportunity Mingyu gets, he's going to be diving that tower, and now Esports, they may have lost the Portal Demon, but they'll gladly take a gold 3 as a consolation prize. Blaine Anderson is there, popping fresh with the gate bowl look as well.
Yeah, the boulder's actually thrown out there as well, but it's not going to be enough to secure the Gold Fury, but it is going to be enough to help secure the kill onto Envisionize. Now, as we see Scylla Esports really trying to home in here on the counter invade here, and we see the huge ultimate coming out from KO picking up Blaine Anderson. That's going to be 2 extra kills that would not have happened otherwise.
And now Desecrator's going to be thinking, why did I use my Crushing Wave again? Why did I use that? Why did I use that when there was like the perfect opportunity, like just crushing away through all 3 memories and such a nice tight little bottleneck. That would have done a lot of damage, but you can only lament on those kind of decisions that Scylla Esports not only get themselves the gold 3, but a lot of necessary kills to bring them right back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, those small decisions that you make earlier in the game can have a huge impact late game, as we saw there. And that team fight might really matter in the late game, getting this game rather even. Though if we look at the graphs, we see 2,500 XP to the side of Scylla and 2,000 gold as well. So, you know, Scylla Esports having a strong little decent lead here for now.
What's important as well when we have a look at those graphs is who is the net worth on, and when we go to the net worth graph, we can actually see that it's only Hebo's at the very lowest Disrupt Rate. It's a kill onto Envisionize over by the Fire Giant.
Yeah, that was absolutely huge damage coming out from the side of Kanga Esports, and now Tourist Guy's looking to be in a little bit of danger, but luckily Terra does have a dash, and Tourist Guys will be happy to use that. But now we see Noose chasing down Shred. They both fall through the portal. Shred taking a lot of damage. No Shred puns needed here as Shred just gets exploded. Poppin' Fresh picking up that kill now. And now we just see this continuation of this fight going out. Mingyu is in quite a bit of danger here, but luckily he does have both his relics available to use to get away, but it's not going to be enough as Noose picks up that kill as well.
KO getting driving straight down the tower after using the Eagles running. Tourist guys, another gate bullock being used to try and finish off the job. Poppin' Fresh with a nice knock-up as well. But Tourist guys, he's going to find the kill thanks to the help from the tower shot, and KO, he's clean onto the scene. He has the health, he has the mana, and Tourist guys, it seems like, is going to pop the Terror's Blessing to try and help the chase, but a good frag advantage combined with a nice carpet from Hebo should allow Kanga to get away for now, but Tourist guys, he's still looking to be aggressive.
I mean, Tory Sky's really wanted those kills, and despite his health, he went in there, but unfortunately just could not pick up those kills. Though, overall, I mean, this Hebo pick, I'm just going to go once again. I mean, both mid laners, to be honest, haven't really been having the impact that we would like them to see. Do you think that's really because of picks, or has it just been how the game's played out?
I think it's to do with power spikes. Yanis isn't going to be doing much until he gets a couple more levels, especially because of the major setbacks of being forced to disconnect. So Yanis, we'll start to see a bit more of very shortly, especially we do see the Spirit Desolation is already finished. We do actually have a Soul Reaver on the way as well. So once those are done, then Yanis is not going to be any predicament. Hebo, however, his farm, as I was about to mention this before those major teamfights broke out, he's currently bottom of the network charts, only 7,000 gold. He hasn't even been able to finish his penetration item, so until that can come online, there's not really much she can do. Freya having it a little bit easier, but she's still bottom 4 when it comes to net worth, so it's been a rough game. And Shred finding the kill with the 3 space in time.
And we do end up seeing the taunt play here, a very powerful play to try and reduce the morale of your opponents. We see there a little bit BM, but I mean, it happens. That was quite a funny situation as we see KO knocked up by the knock-up coming out from Hebo here. KO's putting himself in quite a far up position here. Might actually get ganked here. Noose going in, but not really finding anything. But instead, Blaine Anderson getting that pull. KO taking a lot of damage, forced to ult out onto Noose here. And Noose actually looking to be in a bit of danger. So we see the bat out of hell just coming, as the name suggests, out of hell right down onto Noose. But Noose is looking to get away. That shell going to confirm his life.
Not only the shell, but also the 9-turn blessing, just giving that extra little burst heal to keep them in the fight. Mingyu now rotated over from the dual lane to the mid lane to try and defend this tower. Leaps into the skies, but thinks better of it not to dive so deep into the lineup of Kanga. As Portal Demon is back up, it seems like Kanga, they actually might possibly even bait this out, or just put the ward down and keep going, as Blaine Anderson just scouting the area, taking out the ward that's there.
Yeah, but Taurus guys is going to respond by saying, I know you're there. So now they will know that there is a ward placed there, so we should be seeing a sentry coming in there soon.
Yeah, and that's going to be where the ward battle will begin. Gold Fury will also be up fairly shortly as well, so 2 possible objectives for people to go for. Towers have been fairly quiet this game. Only a single tower has fallen this game, and that's the tier 1 over in the solo lane. Other than that, obviously the tier 1 for mid is for Scylla Esports is looking fairly close to falling, but until then, it's going to take a lot of work to actually finish off this game, as Kanga is going for the 2nd time round for another possible pre-portal demon, but the 3 space in time is there to try and stop him this time.
Yeah, but he can't exactly go through that portal, because otherwise, as his name suggests, he would have gotten shredded. But now instead we see Noose getting shredded by Mingyu. Excellent auto attacks coming out there. Now KO throws out an excellent ultimate onto Desecrate, and that's the exact thing with Hebo. We see him out of position once, he gets killed once, as now the boulder is not going to be enough to save Blaine Anderson's life.
And the problem is, what once would be safe position against almost any other team, Shred makes that place completely unsafe. The portals add an extra element of complete surprise and makes all these calculations completely off in your head, as KO now pushing down this tier 1 over in the mid lane. He does have the Shogun's Kusari for the extra bit of attack speed to push it down, as the Gold Fury is being finished off as well at the same time, so KO kind of acting as the distraction to try and keep them away for as long as possible.
We do see Poppin' Fresh getting in here, but not enough to try and secure that Gold Fury, and unfortunately that's going to be quite detrimental as he also falls with his life.
Yeah, the Gate Bollock's not doing as much damage as he expected, and then not only did he not get the Gold Fury, but the free kill is definitely not going to make him happy. Envision Eyes, happy to just bat out of hell to run away from Kanga on the solo side. Not only does he have the sustain, but that bat out of hell just completely negates any sort of power. And a nice pull from Shred as well to finish off the job and ensure that his jungler gets out for no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, it's excellent to see how this Giannis is starting to be used, despite his scoreline of 1-4-7, though not necessarily a bad scoreline considering the amount of assists. It's good to see how these portals are being used both offensively and defensively, as we see some counter warding up over here on the left, and now Blaine Anderson stunning out Tory Skies, though the rest of his teammates not really in position to capitalize.
Yeah, having a look currently at the build, we actually do see that Shred has finished off a Wk4, so not going for the sorry, but instead going for quite a common Yanis pickup just to not only give him a bit of extra minus sustain to combine with the Sands of Time and Shoes of Focus, but to really give him a nice big power spike for the mid game. So once that's done, we can expect an Obsidian Shard, and oh boy, that's going to be a lot of hurt for the side of Kanga. Even with the tankiness, a lot of the items they have picked up are actually more on the side of physical defense rather than magical protection, as Mingyu gets another solid kill onto Disrupt Bay.
Yeah, I mean, we've been focusing a lot on the middle of the map, but over on the left, Mingyu, once again with the taunt play here, has been doing excellent in these 1v1 situations, which is really going to mean a lot when Mingyu starts doing those heavy rotations and pushing down towers.
Yeah, 5-2-5 to 1-5-5. It's very clear which ADC has been having a better day as KO gets pushed straight up the tower, but I don't think they're going to care. Torres guys pops the Terra's Blessing.
Yeah, that Terra's Blessing being popped, and we also see the Bat Out of Hell popped as well. Now he's chasing down Pop and Fresh. Is he going to get popped as well? Maybe not because of the shell. You see Blaine Anderson throwing out his ultimate, but KO actually does end up picking Pop and Fresh. Now we see Envision Eyes getting quite low himself. Does have the speed buff to try and help himself get away, but instead he's just going to go right in because why not? He has the whole team with him. Blaine Anderson getting a nice pull there, but it's not really going to amount to anything.
Yeah, that was both a really nice use of both the Terra's Blessing as well as the 3 space and time to completely bamboozle the side of Kanga Esports, coming in not only from the side of the tier 2, but not even caring about the tower damage, just going straight for raw kills, as Kanga Esports not only lose the tower, but they lose quite a few members from that fight as well. So Scylla Esports now 16-12.
Yeah, and looking at the graphs here quickly just to see how things have gone out, a huge difference in the XP department. 11k XP ahead is Scylla Esports, along with 7.7k gold, really starting to snowball this game out of proportion. How is Kanga Esports going to handle this?
It's going to be a lot harder just due to the fact that the Freya has not done anything this game. Disrupt Bay has been consistently shot down by Mingyu, and Hebo doesn't seem to be doing really much either in his team, but before he can even use maybe even like 2 water spouts, he's finished off in a blink of an eye. So Kanga, they need to find where they need to position and how to keep these members alive, because currently they're just not keeping them alive for long enough. As Disrupt Bay, speaking of getting focused down, forcing the Valkyrie's discretion once again with 3 members around. There is no way he's getting out.
Alright, at this point I'm going to have to call out Mingyu for the BM there. Once it's a tactic, 2 it's, you know, you're just doing well, but 3 times it is most definitely BM with the taunt coming out from Mingyu, but I mean, he has deserved it. He's been playing absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and especially now that he has things like a Poison Star to slow down the Freya, he's also going to be finishing up a Wind Demon. He has every right to be just so happy and elated, just winning all these fights. Blaine Anderson just kind of given a nice little tap by the Camelot to walk away, as now Scylla Esports, not only do they take the tier 1, but they're looking to push right into the tier 2. Desecrator not really able to do much as he's on the sideline as Terra's Blessing is activated.
Blaine Anderson actually getting absolutely shredded there. So much penetration on the side of Scylla Esports as they pick up 2 kills in 1 second, as we see Mingyu actually forced to use his Aegis, but instead it's just going to slam dunk down on Desecrator like the Space Jam. And now we see Envision Eyes picking up that last kill as well. Disrupt Bay going to be the only one left on the side of Kanga, but Disrupt Bay is not going to be enough to defend.
Nope, and forced to both use a Purification and an Aegis against just the Yanis. The Banish will keep it alive, but the 3 space and time will connect for the dear side. A absolutely incredible team fight from Scylla Esports. The Crushing Wave not really able to do much at all, only really I can connect with 1 member, and even then I think that was Tory Skies who took maybe a pinch of damage. So now Scylla Esports, they're rotating straight to the Portal Demon after not only getting 2 tier 2 the dear side, they're going to probably be able to get this as well as the Fire Giant. So this is where things started getting very dire for Kanga Esports quite immediately.
I think what they're going to do here is just pick up that Portal Demon and head straight back. They don't really want to risk dying on this amount of health. But speaking of going back, they can buy some more items now. So Lynxclone, why don't you tell us a bit more about the items being built here?
Well, before we see the items, we do see Mingyu also finish off the goal free as they destroy the portals in. But as you said, having a look at the items, we see the Runic Shield, a very smart picker from KO to counter both the Freya as well as the Hebo. But not only that, we see things like the Gauntlet of Thieves and a Mantle early on, and even a Kronos Pen onto the Yanas, just to give him that nice 40%. Actually, really, it's like a 45 or 55% if you factor in both the passive of Kronos Pendant and the Spirit Desolation, as Blaine Anderson dashing away, barely avoiding, I should say, the stun from the Terror Walls.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how this is going to play out. Around the Fire Giant pit, we do see a 3-man speed buff, but that's going to mean that possibly Scylla Esports could engage here, as we see KO quite far ahead in terms of positioning, but also his score, so it's not going to really matter too much as we see Shred just absolutely blow up Noose.
And we actually see a very nice little interaction between the Terra and the Huyi, just using Terra's walls to act as an artificial place to get that nice little triple bounce. They could do in the Fire Giant, though, Disrupt Bay trying his hardest to split push, but you're a Freya. What are you going to really do as the fight is about to break out? The Crushing Wave not able to steal away the Fire Giant from Scylla Esports.
Yeah, and Disrupt Bay not being in this fight is incredibly detrimental, as we see Mingyu just picking up Desecrator without even a glance, and now Shred with the snipe once again. These snipes have really started to become on point as this game has progressed.
Yeah, that was just a really nice, effective, just waiting for Kanga to dive in and then just completely return and do all the damage back in return. Mingyu having a beautiful game, 7-2-13, and even Tory Skies, who's playing a Terra, 6-2-16. Not normally a scoreline you'd see on a Terra, but it seems like Tory Skies is somehow managing to do it anyway.
I mean, you're not going to complain if you see your Terror with 6-2-16, are you, Lynx?
You're not going to complain, but it's just something you don't often see as Noose trying to stop that Phoenix push, instantly stopped by the stun out of Mingyu, just preventing them as the final tower will fall for the side of Kanga. Disrupt Bay actually able to get the tier 2, but doesn't really mean much when your middle Phoenix is about to fall in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, at this point, I just don't think that Scylla really care about this Disrupt Bay, though he is going for this Phoenix here, so they might want to send one person back maybe just to pick up that kill and prevent that Phoenix falling, but no, instead they're just going to go right for the second Phoenix, looking to end this game.
Not the same, but the third Phoenix knocked down as the 3 space time connects on the Pop and Fresh. As Blaine Anderson gets pushed back, tries to run away, but caught between 4 members. Mingyu with yet another kill on a rampage this time as Desecrator doing his best to use the Crushing Wave, but the damage is just simply not enough.
Yeah, KO picking up that kill onto Desecrator, and it looks like this is going to be game, set, match here. Pop and Fresh falling in that portal, and Shred just absolutely blowing him up with it. This Titan is going to be going in 3, 2, I'm trying to count 1. There we go, with the Titan falls, and Scylla Esports pulling out a very dominant win.
Yeah, 29s as well is something to be very proud of, especially after what seemed to be a very rough start for Shred, just disconnecting early on would normally put someone quite far behind, but Scylla Esports, they didn't until they didn't cry loss. They just stuck their head down and came right back into that game, and that was just a really well played by them. And Kanga, they obviously did go for a very strange draft, so it's not too surprising that they lost, but just a well played match by Scylla Esports.
Yeah, and looking at the player damage quickly, I just want to have a look who was top player damage. It looks like it was Mingyu with 27k damage, so an absolute excellent job. Definitely MVP of this match, but we'll be right back with a short break.